Cartersville City Council to order. If you will please stand for our invocation and pledge.
Good evening, everyone. May we bow our heads, go through the throne of grace. Our Father, which art in heaven, once again, we are grateful for your abundant mercy and abundant grace. We are thankful for this organization tonight to gather together to do diligence of the work set before us. Grant us knowledge of the situations and give us wisdom to handle it properly. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen. Will you please join me for the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Ulmer, the roll, please.
Carrie Hodge, Ward 1. Here. Jamie Stepp, Ward 2. Carrie Roth, Ward 3.
Here.
Calvin Cooley, Ward 4.
Here.
Jerry Fox, Ward 5.
Here.
Taft Wren, Ward 6.
Here.
Thank you, Meredith. Mr. Stepp got called out of town. I spoke with him earlier today, sends his regrets. I know he was trying to get back and evidently not able to do so. Our first order of business is the approval of our council meeting minutes from our April 19th meeting. And council, you've had these well in advance of this evening and had an opportunity to review those. Now would be the time to make any edits, or if there are none, a motion to approve would be in order.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. We're out of the gate quick. That's great. We have got the opportunity to honor some of our best and brightest teachers tonight, and so I'm honored to start that off. This is the annual, each of the four schools select a Teacher of the Year. We're here to honor them tonight, and so I've got a proclamation for each of you, for Shannon Dietrich at Cartersville Elementary School, for Sarah Bright at Cartersville Middle School, for Leanne Young at Cartersville Primary School, and for Kim Foster at Cartersville High School. These are resolutions that I'm proud to present, and they say this: whereas teacher's name has been named Teacher of the Year at their school, their personal dedication and sincere concern for quality education has made them an asset to the school system, and their leadership has provided a vital service for the children of Cartersville. And where it is the desire of the city of Cartersville to honor this most valuable teacher, now therefore be it resolved by the mayor and the council of the city of Cartersville that because of their dedication and excellence, that this means be taken to honor their being selected for Teacher of the Year 2019 for their particular school. What year are we in? This is 2018, isn't it? Whoever did these will have to, either you're really ahead of your time or somebody's going to get a little something deducted from that. So if I'll call you down individually and be happy to hand these out to you. Greg Anderson will take a photograph, and as I told y'all before, you're certainly welcome to stay and spend time with us. If not, you're certainly, I'll exercise the option that you don't do with your students. I'll let you leave class early. How about that? First is Kim Foster with Cartersville High School. Next is Leanne Young at Cartersville Primary. Sarah Bright at Cartersville Middle School. And Shannon Dietrich with Cartersville Cartersville Elementary. I knew I had my glasses. You're welcome. It's worth noting they're all smiles tonight, but they'll be competing for Teacher of the Year at a banquet in a couple of weeks. We'll see if they come out smiling on that one. No, great accomplishment by all, and happy to honor them tonight. We have got some second readings of hearings tonight. Mr. Menino, if you'll get us started with T18-03, please.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. This case is directly related with the following case also. This is a proposed text amendment to the MU zoning category. This text amendment would allow, under a special use permit, outdoor storage to the side and rear of properties to allow for outdoor storage of landscape supply materials. With that, the Planning Commission did recommend approval of this proposed text amendment, and it is a second reading, and there have been no additions or changes since the first reading.
Okay, questions from Mr. Menino at this point on item T18-03? Thank you. I'll now open up a public hearing relative to T18-03, and anybody wishing to step forward and speak for or against may do so at this time. And seeing none, I'll close the public hearing for T18-03 and turn it over to council for their consideration.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries unanimously. If, Randy, if you'll get us started on SU 18-01.
Thank you again. As I had mentioned, this case is directly related to the previous case that you just heard. The proposed text amendment would allow for a special use permit application to allow the outdoor storage to the side and rear for landscape supplies and materials. This is the actual application for that corresponds with that text amendment. The applicant, who is representing Taylor Farm Supplies, looking to relocate on Tennessee Street. This did go through the Planning Commission. They did recommend approval, and there have been no additions or changes since the first reading.
Okay. Again, council, any questions for Mr. Menino on this item? Seeing none, I'll open up a public hearing relative to SU 18-01. And anybody wishing to step forward and speak for or against may do so at this time. Okay, and seeing none, I'll close the public hearing for SU 18-01 and turn it over to council for your consideration.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Mr. Lovell, you have the next item, please.
Mayor, this is a twofold item. First part is a public hearing on the abandonment of Old Tennessee Road, which has been basically abandoned by the city and has no further use. The second part is after the public hearing is for y'all to approve a resolution which has a quitclaim deed attached to it that the property will revert back to the adjoining property owners, Martha and Paul Bishop. Martha Gill and Paul Bishop, I'm sorry.
Okay. Any questions or discussion at this point? All right, I'll open up a public hearing relative to this topic, and anybody wishing to step forward and speak for or against may do so at this time. And seeing none, I'll close the public hearing and turn it over to council. You have a resolution that would authorize this action to take place, and I will turn it over to you.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Mr. Anderson.
Okay, yes, sir, Mayor and Council. This is a change order on our Park Pavilion projects. We had actually had one contractor that had two bids for us, and the construction bid, elements of construction, original bid was $347,900. We had a deduct of $6,000 for that project. Also, for elements of construction, they had our bid on our concrete drives and sidewalks. We had an increase. I added additional drives and sidewalk for an additional of $4,539.04, which totaled out to a net deduct of the project. Also, in using that, we furnished concrete for this project and recommend we pay the bill from Wayne Davis Concrete in the amount of $6,261.75. I've got some pictures up here of our.
That looks like a church.
That didn't come off your iPhone, did it?
Actually, it did.
Did it really?
It looks like a
Does
church.
looks
So-
like a professional
Yeah,
photograph, right?
this was the one. This was the first one I took. The first one that the pictures were, that the lights were working, and then I've got others. This is our So I took this today, we got our grills up. Each shelter has one of the large grills, 5 trash receptacles. We're now spreading mulch and smoothing everything out, and we have a March of Dimes, the March of Dimes walk tomorrow afternoon, or tomorrow night at Dillinger Park.
This is the second deduct you brought in, isn't it?
It is. I'm not through either.
Looks
Those
good.
are very well done, Greg.
Well, again, the construction company did a great job on it. Jim Hagler did a great job designing them.
Yeah.
And I think that our patrons will really enjoy those.
Outstanding. All right. Chair will entertain a motion
Make a
on
motion
the,
to approve.
all in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All right. Greg, continue on.
Yes, sir, Madam Council. This next item is our project for our front entrance of for our sign base and our columns. We had tried to get capstones. Elite Stone had furnished the rock for this project, but was unable to get this capstone. Our contractor that does this, Steve Dutton Masonry, he found these out of Douglasville, and I'm presenting this to City Council for approval to buy 20 40 by 40 split couch sandstone cap blocks in the amount of $5,337.50, and this will be funded by our GO bond fund.
Okay. Questions, comments, or motions?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Bob, you got the next couple, please.
Good evening, everyone. First up, I think, is our Komatsu lift station. We went out to do some regular maintenance on that a few weeks ago and discovered an issue with the pump control and power cables. The station was built in 2001, has been in continuous use since then. These are the original pump control cables. What's happening is the outer insulation on the cable is breaking down, and when that happens, if we allow it to continue, it will create a path for water to get inside the pump and cause the pump to fail. These pumps are $10,000, $15,000 a piece. So we asked Flight, who's the manufacturer of the pump, to give us a price on recabling these pumps. There are 3 pumps there. They gave us a total price of $6,865.32 to recable each pump in the station, and would recommend that for your approval.
Thank you. Any discussion? And if not, a motion. Go
Comment,
ahead,
I
Greg.
can remember, we put that in when Komatsu came here, I think.
Mhm.
That was paid for with a grant.
Yep.
Okay. Any other discussion? And if not, a motion's in order.
Motion to approve. I'll second that motion.
All in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Continue on, Bob.
Yes, sir. We have a sewer jetting truck. This is basically a high pressure, you can think of it as a pressure washer that you can run down a sewer to unclog it if they stop up. The truck was bought new in 2012. Went out to use it a week or so ago and discovered that the pump wouldn't produce the pressure that we need to make it work correctly. Contacted the vendor that we purchased the truck from in 2012. They no longer support this line of equipment. Per the manufacturer, they have service facilities in Arkansas, Tennessee, and Mississippi that we can take it to have service work done. We did contact a local company in Austell, Adams Equipment, that we have equipment we purchased from them as well. They serviced that equipment. They agreed to service this equipment and provided us a cost for doing so. What we need to do is replace the clutch and rebuild the pump seal specifically for the rear unit. They provided a cost of $5,927.75. As we talked about in the work session, that is parts plus 8 hours of labor, and we cannot find anyone else that's willing to work on this equipment in the state of Georgia. And we don't feel like we can drive it to any of these places, lodge someone overnight because it's a one-day job, and then bring them back and save anything over what Adams has quoted us here. So it is a sole source item, and would recommend that for your approval for those reasons.
Okay. Any questions for Bob on this? If not, a motion's in order.
I'll make a motion to approve. Second.
All in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
The motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Sanders?
Thank you, Mayor, Council. Solid Waste needs some new dumpsters. We took bids. The low bidder was Lewis Steelworks of Wren, Georgia, at $10,730. It's a budgeted item, and we're recommending the low bid.
Questions, comments, or motions?
Motion to approve.
I got a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Tommy. Mr. Hasselbrock?
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. The Electric Department is seeking authority to purchase 3 vaults to use, needed to construct Phase 2 of the electrical supply for Highland 75 Industrial Park. And these vaults aid us in pulling long runs of large cable, and they're junction splice boxes, if you will, that weigh about 12,000 pounds each. And we've received bids from 2 companies with a presence in Bartow. One of these is, one bid came from Bartow Precast, and the other is from Old Castle Company, which is affiliated with Block USA out on Cassville Road. And we're recommending the lowest bidder, who represents Old Castle Company, for a total price of $23,843. And included in that price is a crane. We don't have the equipment to handle that payload, so we would, the company that builds the vaults, they provide the crane that goes to the site and physically sets this equipment. And this is a budgeted item.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Hasselbrock on this one?
Will they be able to set all, are you getting 3 of these, is that correct?
Yeah.
And they'll be able to set all 3 of them?
Yeah, at one time. They're pretty flexible. If we need, if we can't set all 3 of them at one time for whatever reason, they'll come back and work with us. We've worked with them several times over the last 10 years.
Any other discussion? If not, a motion's in order.
Make a motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you. Chief Carter, you're up.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm pleased to bring to you tonight the final equipment package for the new fire truck. And first of all, I'll just begin by saying thank you for y'all's patience and cooperation. That project began last July, and we've been steadily coming towards it. We will be sending staff to Wisconsin on the 29th for the final inspection of that truck. We'll have it on time. Everything so far is well within budget and time frame. The equipment I bring for you tonight is the hydraulic tools. This is what's called the hydraulic tools, better known as the jaws of life, that's used in motor vehicle accidents, also other different types of traumatic injuries to cut through. This is a single source from Municipal Emergency Services, as the quote price of $31,966.82. This is $3,033.18 below our budgeted price, and this is also lease pool and a budgeted item.
Thank you. How many years of service do you get out of one of those pieces?
This set right here will actually be replacing a set that will wind up rolling out of stock that we've had online since 1985.
Wow. Thank you. All right, any other questions? And if not, a motion.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Mr. Porta.
Mayor and Council, the first item I have is NCI fiber cable installation. Fiber department installed a new customer, Liberty Church, at a cost of $17,500 for NCI fiber to do that underground service. We had some additional material costs for fiber cable for about a little over $3,000. Liberty Church paid $12,000 install fee. It's a $485 a month internet service provider, so it's a 1.52 year payback. I recommend approval of this invoice.
Thank you. Questions, comments, or motions?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item, please, Dan.
This is an annual firewall support invoice for Carousel Industries. It supports 3 of our core firewalls. The annual cost is $9,866.40.
Any discussion? And if not, a motion.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
Next item is a fiduciary insurance. A few years ago, the pension board came to, and recommended a fiduciary insurance for themselves. It actually covers all the city boards at a cost of $9,324, and recommended that for approval as well.
Okay. Any discussion? If not, a motion.
Motion to approve? I'll second that motion.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Final one for you, Dan, please.
Yes, sir. It's materials and soil testing. We got 3 quotes from 3 different vendors to do soil testing, concrete testing, steel testing for the new gas facility on Old Mill Road. This is going to be a recommend approval not to exceed $30,000 because of this project. You don't know how many times they have to come on site, depending on how the contractor does their work. So we're recommending not to exceed $30,000 for GeoHydro, subject to the approval of city manager and city attorney. Keith has sent his changes. We sent it back to GeoHydro, and he's got to do a final review and maybe make some additional ones, but recommend approval for the mayor and city clerk to sign that once approved by the city manager and city attorney.
Thank you. Any discussion? If not, a motion's in order.
I'll make a motion to approve.
All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries unanimously. We do have one item to add. Chair will entertain a motion to add that item.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
One item added. Mr. Lovell.
Mayor, the city's received a anti-litem notice regarding an automobile accident from Motlick and Associates regarding a Salome NDEGWA and Francis NGERE. I don't have any idea how you would say them. But it's the same accident y'all considered earlier on a Cartersville road involving one of our police vehicles. It is recommended for your denial of the anti-litem notice claim at this time, and I'm going to ask that y'all approve a resolution doing that.
Okay. Chair will entertain a motion if there's no discussion on that item.
Motion to deny.
Second.
Motion to deny is appropriate language on that.
Motion to deny the claim, that's fine.
Thank you. I got a motion and a second. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Any other business that needs to come before council this evening? Seeing none, Chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Brad can have it.